A chill ran down my neck and settled across my shoulders as my sister Lila waved an empty bottle triumphantly. "You have until dawn to leave," she snapped. Across the table, our parents, Diane and Robert, clapped in mock approval. 2 decades of blame boiled down to this, I murmured. I reached into my blazer pocket and placed a brass key on the table. "Now, you have 60 seconds to secure your future." The room went silent. Lila's jaw flexed, ready to spit something, but I raised a hand. 3 months ago, at Grandmother Evelyn Hart's funeral, while you were broadcasting your grief online, something crucial happened. Their faces flickered. Confusion, irritation, curiosity. I smelled candle wax and varnish. It had been a gray March afternoon. I sat alone in the back pew. They posed front and center. After the service, her lawyer, Theodore Cole, silver-haired, wire-rimmed glasses, steered me into a side office. "Miss Rowan Pierce," he said softly, "your grandmother revised her will 6 months ago." He handed me a thick envelope. I had been named the executor of her entire estate. $3.2 million in investments, properties in Colorado and California, and one clause that made my heart race. Any relative displaying hostility toward me would forfeit their inheritance, provided I documented it. Back at the dining table, Lila sneered. "You expect us to buy this fairy tale. I expect you to read." I unlocked my phone, scrolling through photos of the will and footage I had collected over 90 days. Grandmother had observed how she treated me. So had I. Diane shifted nervously. "Rowan, stop humiliating yourself." "Humiliating?" I dabbed a smear of wine from my cheek. "Lila had struck me while you applauded. That was Exhibit A." I tapped the brass key. 60 seconds is now 45. Robert leaned back, mouth opening and closing. "Impossible," he muttered, while color drained from Lila's face. I set my phone on the table. The screen glowed with pages and timestamps. "Hostility forfeits shares," I read aloud, scrolling past bruised wrists from the night Lila had blocked the door, an audio clip of Diane calling me a parasite, a video of tonight's bottle incident. Lila rasped. "Grandma loved me. She loved performance." "You were the matinee," I said. I lifted the brass key. "This is the master key because last month I purchased this house." I slid a folder through the ring of spilled wine. "Deed transfer, Silverwood Properties, my LLC. Your third mortgage defaulted. The bank preferred cash." The chandelier hummed. Diane whispered, "We gave Lila this house free and clear. She had given it away 3 times. I remained calm. "Boutique crypto investments the bank had foreclosed. For 4 weeks, I let you stay without rent while I gathered what the will required," I said. Lila lunged for the papers, but I drew them back. "Also, that basement suite. Illegal rental, 2 years of unreported income. Reviews don't lie." Robert slumped. "We can be reasonable." "Reason left with the cork," I said, tapping the empty bottle. I placed an envelope between the plates. 30 days notice. "As owner, I'm far kinder than you were to me at 16. Seconds bled away. The room shrank to heartbeat and ticking. Lila's phone slipped from her hand, clattering to the floor. "What if we apologize?" she asked. "You start acting like family," I said. "The will doesn't negotiate with violence." 10 seconds left. Lila swallowed. "And part 2 of your surprise." Smiled. "Evidence." I set my tablet on the table, opened the security app. The dining room camera captured tonight and last week. Lila, using a spare key, rifled through my desk, pocketed grandmother's pearls, and sliced the guest register. Audio clips revealed my parents at this very table plotting a fake surgery for cash. Diane pressed her napkin to her mouth. Robert stared at his hands. Lila's bravado melted. "I recorded what you chose," I said. "The clause demands proof." I slid 2 options across the table. File everything: eviction, police reports, will enforcement, tax issues, or sign acknowledgements, enter therapy, make restitution, and permanently stop lying about me. Lila's gaze flicked to the brass key, then to the shards of the green bottle. "What happens to me?" You forfeit Grandmother Evelyn's bequests, return what you took, and apologize to every neighbor you poisoned with your lies. Ticking filled the room. Diane whispered, "I'm sorry." Robert nodded. Lila's chin trembled. "I'm sorry, Rowan." The apology fell like rain on dry earth. Too little to heal completely, but enough to start. I gathered the agreements. Sunrise was no longer a deadline. It was a beginning. I pocketed the key and surveyed the house I now owned. Crown molding, scuffed floors, new weathered light. 30 days to vacate, 90 for restitution, weekly therapy. No contact unless respectful. Break it and I file. No one argued. The grandfather clock struck 9. For once, I was no longer the scapegoat. I was the author and I chose the ending that freed me.